How you doing, YouTube? This is Gunnery67 bringing you a new YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be over an American Civil War 2.0. Hello everyone. If we haven't met, I'm Gunny Witt. Having served in places like Afghanistan and Iraq during my 21 years of service in the Marine Corps, I have first-hand knowledge of what a war does to a country. Whether the enemy is an external or internal fighting force, those first-hand experiences will be utilized in analyzing what a possible second civil war would look like here in the United States. Additionally, if you analyze past civil wars throughout the world, there are a lot of common events between those other countries that experience civil war events and what has and is happening here in the United States. Over the last 4 years, the massive divide has taken hold on every possible level here in the United States. A divide in politics. You've got Republicans and Democrats, and of course, Trump versus Biden. You've got American citizens versus illegal immigrants. The unsecured southern U.S. border. You've got a divide between the rich and the poor. The religious versus the non-religious. Woke versus non-woke. The LGBT community versus the straight community. Millennials and Gen Zers versus baby boomers and Gen Xers. It seems like Americans do not have a national identity anymore. It seems that we as Americans can't rally behind any common cause or belief anymore. It seems as though the words tolerance and compromise are foul words that should never be spoken out loud or practiced. It seems as if the whole country is divided right down the middle. 50-50. This wasn't the case 10 years ago. It used to be that the majority of Americans could agree that they are proud of our country, that we support our military, our law enforcement officers. They had a certain level of faith in our government and legal system, that they had we the people's best interests at heart while simultaneously protecting our constitutional rights. We could all agree that if we witnessed individuals breaking the law, that they should be held to account. We could all agree that if another country or organization conducted terrorist operations against innocent people, regardless of their nationality, race, religion, or creed, that they be labeled as just that, as a terrorist. This isn't the case anymore. Millennials and Gen Zers have or are being taught at all levels of schooling that Americans at her core, or that America at her core is racist and unjust, and not worthy of the pride that we have instilled in America. They are being taught that criminals are real victims and deserve to be given a pass for their actions. They are being taught that terrorists that kill innocent people are really freedom fighters and don't deserve being dealt with like an enemy combatant. They're being taught that masculine men are toxic and we have no need for them in modern Western society. The American dream is almost dead. So if you go ahead and look at the things that have transpired over the last couple of years, these are the recent events that have kind of led us to this point. We've had the lockdowns of the country during the global C-19 event. We've had massive overreach of the government in dictating what we as free American citizens need to put into our bodies, specifically dealing with a certain inoculant in order to serve in the military, as government contractors, federal civil service, service doctors, nurses, firefighters, law enforcement, and a laundry list of other occupations. The BLM riots in many of our major cities. The changing of election laws and ballot collection procedures in a short period of time. The 2020 presidential elections. A contested presidential election with the claim that it was stolen. A federal Capitol riot in January of 2021. The disastrous military withdrawal in Afghanistan that eroded the United States' status in the world as a reliable global ally that keeps its promises and commitments, and the questioning of the capabilities of the United States military. An ongoing immigration issue at our southern border that has allowed approximately 10 million illegal immigrants to enter the country and strain state and federal programs and resources, and has pitted states against the federal government. The weaponization of the justice system and numerous alphabet agencies against anyone that has a different opinion than the individuals in the highest levels of our government. Prime example, look at Donald Trump. He is enemy number one to the federal and a lot of state governments. But not only Donald Trump, you have conservatives that are being targeted, Christians, pro-lifers, Second Amendment advocates. The numerous examples of political corruption that is on display daily by politicians on both sides of the aisle. You've got President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, George Santos in the House of Reps. You've got Senator Melendez with bribery claims. Ilhan Omar with claims of she's abused campaign funds, that she married her brother, that a lot of people in her district have ill intent towards the U.S. as a whole. And you have one of the most powerful people that served in the government, Nancy Pelosi, and her husband's questionable wealth accumulation, insider trading. And on top of all this, you've also have numerous states that in one form or fashion, they've contemplated secession. You have Florida. Florida has outright defied our executive branch of the U.S. government. They've contemplated secession from the United States. Northern California, they're tired of toting the line for all of the voting power that Southern California has. They want to become their own state. Eastern Oregon, they want to break off from Western Oregon and become part of Idaho. New Hampshire, there's been talk of secession there, and of course Texas. Texas has been outright defiant to the executive branch of the United States government, particularly in the subject of illegal immigration. And on top of all that, the timing couldn't be more perfect than the upcoming movie this spring called Civil War. Kind of give you a quick synopsis of the movie Civil War. Civil War is a 2024 dystopian action film written and directed by Alex Garland. The film stars Kirsten Dunst playing a renowned war photojournalist. Its plot is set in the near future. A team of journalists travel across the United States during the rapid escalating Second American Civil War that has engulfed the entire nation between the American government, the separatist Western forces of Texas and California, the Florida Alliance, and the New People's Army. The film documents the journalists' struggle to survive during a time when the U.S. government has become a dystopian dictatorship and partisan extremist militias regularly commit war crimes. Now, after all this is my take and kind of the summary of this video. Is there gonna be a second American Civil War? I don't know. I can't tell you. I will say that if you're one of the individuals that is hoping and praying for another civil war here in the United States to kick off, I would highly suggest that you reevaluate that train of thought. During a civil war, all the things that we take for granted or enjoy, like electricity, refrigeration, clean running water, abundant food, emergency services, public transportation, abundant and readily available fuel, public transportation, and government essential services like trash pickup will cease or at least be just drastically impaired. Armed factions will either shut off, damage, or destroy most critical infrastructure that we come to rely on. Armed groups will commandeer people's property, homes, and resources with no chance of just compensation. Additionally, with any type of armed conflict, you'll have war crimes that are being committed. That's just the nature of the beast. That's war. This is a reality that is inevitable. Crimes like unsanctioned killings, beatings, and rapes will be the new norm. And the chance of an individual finding any justice after these types of acts having been inflicted on themselves or their family will be slim to none. If a second civil war happens here in America, be prepared to suffer, whether it is direct or indirect. Is there a way that we can avoid a second civil war? Yes, there is a way. But it involves starting to utilize the two dirty words, tolerance and compromise. We also need to focus more on the things that unite us, vice the things that divide us. If we explore more of the things that we as American society can agree on, then we will start to see each other as people again, as neighbors, as fellow Americans again. All of these simple things could give us back one of the things that has been missing for many years, our American identity back. All right, YouTube, that's about enough for today. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. In the comments below, let me know what you like, what you don't like. Go ahead and also tell me, do you think that there's another American Civil War coming? And how is it going to start? How is it going to end? Now, this video is one of 2 parts. I'll be releasing another American Civil War 2.0 video, but it'll be who I think, if a civil war kicks off, who would win. All right, YouTube, that's it for today. This is Gunnery Sergeant 67. I'm out.